So I met my friend Emma to hear all about her Arbonne business, and this is how she explained it to me. So I'm going to explain it to you in the same way that she explained it to me. She did not have a massive whiteboard though. She had this tiny little bit of napkin paper, like tissue paper, tiny little bit of napkin paper, and she basically explained it to me, and my eyes lit up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely something that I could do. I was like, I don't have many skills, but I absolutely could do that. I was like, anyone could do this. And she was like, exactly. So basically, she said if you get involved with Arbonne, you basically buy the rights to your own shop. But it's not a shop that people walk into, it's an online shop. So www. And she was like, in your case, it'd be Danni Wells at arbonne.com. I was like, great. So there's two ways you get paid in Arbonne. There's two parts to Arbonne. And the first way is called direct sales, so DS for short. Really simple. She was like, basically, Arbonne make over 500 products and they're all in the health and wellness sector. So things like skincare, cosmetics, nutrition, everyday essentials like sun cream, toothpaste, deodorant, hair care, etc., etc. Things that people use on a daily basis. She was like, they make these products, and because they don't sell them in a shop, they basically cut out 80% of what the price should be. So the price is reduced down about 80% because they're not being sold in a shop. So when products are sold in a shop, and I know this from working at Specsavers, we would sell our frames, our lenses for like 200 to £500. I know they cost pence to make. Obviously, I know you've got to pay for the staff, the store, the electricity, and the insurances, the advertising. I know, I do know all that, but that is what bumps the price up 80%. So anything you buy from a shop, you think 80% of that, what you're paying for, is just the middle process. It's not the actual product. So the founder of this company, Petter Mork, who was an amazing botanist from Norway, he set up the first company in the 1970s. So it actually launched in 1980 to create clean skincare, cosmetics, nutrition, personal care products that would not be sold in a shop. They would be affordable products. Anyway, I digress. So Arbonne make these products. So direct sales is where a customer comes to you and they buy that product and they buy it direct from you and you get paid 35%. So basically, if they've gone onto your website and they've spent £100, for example, they pay directly onto the website, so you don't deal with any money. It gets shipped straight to their door, and it's literally like farm to table. It's literally like going to the farmer buying your carrots, and then you take them home. You cut out that whole middle process. So if you imagine if you buy carrots from the supermarket, how much you pay for them, they actually probably would cost 10p, 15p if you got them directly from the farm. So this is what I'm saying about those Arbonne cut out that middle process. So the products are shipped straight to them, and Arbonne will pay you the following week 35%. So they will pay you, in this scenario, £35. Okay. So imagine you have 10 customers and the total turnover in your business is £1,000. You would get paid £350 that week. This is just based on everyone spending 100. People can spend what they want. I'm just keeping it really simple. So direct sales is super easy to understand. Now, when I started this business, the first thing that I did was I went onto the website and I bought the kids' hair and body wash because both my children at the time had really bad eczema, really bad skin. And we went back and forth to the GPs trying to get that sorted. And the GP would prescribe products, but it never actually solved the problem. They would be up in the night, like scratching, red, raw, bleeding. Awful. So when I bought my franchise, although Arbonne don't stipulate you have to buy any products, I was like, if I'm going to recommend this brand and talk to people about this company, I want to be at least using at least one item from the company. So I wanted to have authenticity and integrity. So I bought the kids' hair and body wash. Now, I'm going to just be really honest with you. I about fell off my chair when I saw the price of it because it was about £20 for one bottle of kids' hair and body wash. And I was hesitant. So I spoke to the girl that introduced me and I was like, I don't even spend £20 on a takeaway. Like we're so short on money. That is just an insane amount of money. I was like, I don't even think I even spend that a week on food. Actually, maybe that was about a week, about maybe just a little bit more than that on a week's worth of food shopping. This is going back 11 years ago. And she basically said to me, look, buy it because Arbonne do a 90-day money back guarantee. So if it doesn't work, within 3 months, you can actually send like whatever's left in the bottle, send it back and get a full refund. And I was like, oh, I've actually spent a lot of money on lots of different products for my kids. Nothing's worked. They're just sat in a drawer because they never actually worked. I spent way more than £20 on all these bits and bobs. And she said to me, if it works, is it worth it? And anyone that's got kids or pets will know, absolutely. If there's a problem and you've potentially got the solution, like money's no object in that scenario, you're like, absolutely. So I bought it, and then what happened was within 3 days, my kid's skin had cleared up, and it was very noticeable in their face. And I was on the school run, and a mum that was there didn't really know her that well, so she kind of was a stranger, but enough. And she knew me enough to come over to me in the playground. She was like, "Oh, I noticed that their skin's cleared up. What are you using?" And obviously, I was brand new in Arbonne, so I didn't really know what I was talking about. So I said something along the lines of, "Oh, I've got this franchise with Arbonne. The company's from Switzerland. Obviously, nice things come from Switzerland, chocolates, watches." And I said, and they are vegan. They're all vegan products. They're gluten free. It's a B corporation. There's no nasties. They ban over 2,000 ingredients. I think I was like talking something like that. And I said, but they don't, you can't actually buy these products anywhere. They're not sold in shops. You can't even buy them online. The only way you can buy these products from Arbonne is through a representative. They have to have bought their own website. But I've just bought one a few days ago. And she was like, "Great, send me your website link when you get home and I'll go on an order." I was like, "Great." So she went home and literally, I think I must have been like back at home having my fizz stick. Within 5 minutes, I had a ping on my phone to say that somebody had placed, and it was her, had placed an order on my website. And she'd bought some other bits and bobs as well, including the kids' hair and body wash. And my commission for that was £12.50. Now, I know that my husband thought this was hilarious. I know that that's not a lot of money, but I was like, wow, like I've nearly broken even. I've only been in business for like 4 days. Most businesses take like 2 to 3 years to break even. So I was pretty impressed with myself. But then what happened was, her kid's skin cleared up. And in a couple of days, her neighbour, who I didn't know, this was a stranger to me, her neighbour and her were having this conversation about these products. And the neighbour got my website link from our mutual friend and ordered these products. So I was at home and I got this notification to say that this person, I looked at the name, I was like, "I don't know who that person is," had ordered a load of products and I'd got paid for that. I think I'd got paid like £30 for that. And I was like, "Who is this person?" And I soon figured out who it was. And even though that was a stranger, I then messaged her, which I do with every stranger that orders from my website. Still now, 11 years on, I messaged her. I was like, "Hi, my name is Danny. Our mutual friend so-and-so has obviously passed on my website. Thank you so much. Let me know when your products arrive and I'll talk you through how to use them." And, we became friends. And then what happened was she told her work colleague who ordered products, another stranger from my website, who I then reached out to. And then she told her sister in Australia. And then I had people in Australia ordering off my website. So I literally was going to bed, waking up in the morning with like 7 notifications on my phone of these strangers ordering products off my website. And I then spent the time messaging them all, introducing myself, becoming friends with them. But this is basically so my friend Emma was telling me about. So the network marketing side, I'm going to go into next. So the network marketing side is optional, and this is where you teach and train other people to run their own business like I have. So once you've got a couple of customers and you kind of have learnt the gist of what's going on, you know what's happening, you then can feel confident to talk to other people about setting up their own business. So if that happens, they get their own shop and their website is named after them. So they now don't shop on your website, they shop from their own website and they get paid 35% of commissions every single week. Now, what Arbonne do here is they pay you for training up other people. So have you ever, I'm trying to think of an example, have you ever referred somebody? Have you ever, did Uber do this? I'm not sure if Uber do this, where if you use Uber, you obviously use that service, but if you refer a friend, that friend gets something, but you also get a kickback as well because you recommended somebody else to use it. So that's kind of like how Arbonne works. So if you recommend a friend and they want to do this business and you teach and train them, they get paid their full commission, same way you do. But Arbonne give you a kickback. Arbonne pay you as well for teaching and training them, but they actually pay you to teach and train your whole team. So I'm gonna talk about how that works. So if you decide to help 5 people learn how to do Arbonne and you teach and train them, and if you're not sure what to do, we do actually have mentors. So if you join my team, for example, I would mentor and help everybody. So if you're not sure, then you'd come to me and I would help you with that. And I put on like weekly team trainings, weekly incentives, so you're not on your own. But let's say you're helping 5 people run their business, and then you're working with them and you help them to teach 5 people each as well. So if they teach 5 people each as well, you've now got 25 more people in your network. So I want you to think about this like you've got 5 children. So you've decided to have 5 children and you're heavily invested into teaching those 5 children how to live life. And then they decide to have 5 children each as well. So you've now got 25 grandchildren. So if this is your family tree, you've got 30 members in your family or team. So 5 children, 25 grandchildren. Everyone just has five each. And then if your grandchildren decide to have 5 children each, you've now got 125 great grandchildren within your team. I'm just going to do this one more time, otherwise I'll run out of board space. So everyone else has 5 children each. That's 625. So if this was your family tree, if this was your team, you've got 5 children, 25 grandchildren. So that's 30. So add them together, that's 30. Add your great grandchildren and add your great great grandchildren. In total, in your family, you've got 780 family members or team members. Okay. So if everybody is doing what you're doing with your direct sales and they're helping a couple, say they're helping like 2 customers a month, obviously there's no limit, you can help as many customers as you want, but let's just keep it really simple. Say everyone's helping 2 customers a month and their businesses turn over £100 each, just for simplicity. The total turnover running through your business is £78,000 of turnover. So Arbonne pay everybody their correct commissions in the same way that they pay you for your weekly commissions. So everyone gets paid every week their commissions. But every month Arbonne looks at your total turnover and they're like, right, total turnover is £78,000 and they pay you a percentage of that. The percentage of that is between 1% and 18%, depending on your experience in Arbonne. So the more experienced you get, the bigger your business becomes, the higher up your percentage. You get a pay rise basically. So there's 4 levels of promotion in Arbonne, and as you go through the promotional levels, you get a pay rise. But just to keep this maths super simple, let's just go somewhere in the middle and say 10% is what you're going to earn. So 10% of £78,000 for your monthly paycheck is £7,800. That's your monthly paycheck. And you get paid weekly from your customer orders as well. So when my friend drew this out on a napkin, I was like, oh my gosh. And then she said to me, look, if I'm going to coach and train and teach you, I'm not looking for people that want an easy ride. I'm not looking for people that want to get an account, sit on their ass and literally do nothing. She's I'm only looking for people that actually are willing to roll their sleeves up. And granted, it's quite simple work and all the training is provided, but you've still got to actually do something. She's like, I'm not looking for lazy people. I'm not looking for people that are into like get rich quick schemes. She goes, I just want people that are actually going to build a customer base here and look after their customers. Because you don't need many customers, just a handful of customers who love you, who love what you recommend, who know that you are always updated on your training, who can ask you like, oh, what would you recommend for this? Who refer friends to you because they love what you do. So you need to be able to learn to be good at this. So you don't have to be good to start, but you have to learn to be good, and all the trainers provide you. So I need you to, if you're going to do it, I need you to promise me you're going to commit to the weekly training, which is half an hour every week, and you can join that live on Zoom on a Monday night or watch it on recording. I was like, I promise, yes. And she said, and if you're going to teach and train people, you look after them. You don't just sign somebody up and then you disappear the next day and they're like left like, I don't know what I'm doing. She goes, you look after these people like they're your family. Now what happens is you're most invested with your children. Your grandchildren are mostly looked after by your children. So you take a little bit of a step back here. Now, I'm not saying you disappear from your grandchildren's lives, like you're present in their lives, but your children are their team leader. Okay. So she goes, you mostly look after your 5 children, and then you tell them to look after their 5 children, and you're around, you're there if they need you, you're there if their leader's poorly, you would step in. She goes, but you have less and less involvement with, say, like your great great grandchildren. So they know who you are, they know you're available for help, but they've got all these people in their team leadership line helping them. And she goes, but you have to make sure you're always there for your children, for your main people that you introduce, your people that you sponsor. And I was like, absolutely, yes, I will be. So when she was telling me about this business, she was like, it's so simple. All you've got to do is 2 things. Commit to learning to building up a customer base and get paid every week for that. And then the second thing is to teach and train people and commit to just helping support them, because it's very part-time. You could do 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, and it would be absolutely okay. I was like, I'm in. I'm absolutely in. There was no hesitation from me. I just loved the idea of this. And for me, it's been 11 years now. And my highest paycheck for the month with Arbonne has been £25,000. And my highest paycheck for the week on my weekly commissions was about £1,500. So imagine getting that every single week. And I just love that all the training is provided. I love that it's available for anybody to take part in. Oh, and one other thing that the girl said, she said there's a Chinese proverb that says if you find something of value, it is your obligation, your duty to share it with other people. So I took that and I was like, I'm going to share this information with everybody, and it's up to them if they want to do it or not. Like, if they don't need this, if they're already invested with stocks and shares and property and they've got money coming in every single day into their life, and if their main job was to be gone or they had a medical injury that meant they couldn't work for 12 months, it doesn't matter because they've got money coming in every day from other avenues like stocks and shares and properties, etc. And I've told people about this and they're like, I don't need this because I've got plenty of money coming in from different sources. I've got private healthcare and I've got all the confidence that I need. I've got all the friends that I need. And they're literally like, I can't see that there's anything for me in this. And I'm like, that's absolutely fine. My obligation is just to share this and let people decide. But 99.99% of people, they need something that this business offers. They need money coming in a residual form, like Arbonne does, because they think if my main job was to go or my partner's job was to go, what have I got? And the amount of women that do this, because they're like, if I want to leave my partner or my partner leaves me, I'm in the shit basically, because unless I go on to benefits and get a council house, which a lot of people don't want to do, they're like, what have I got? And a lot of people are trapped in relationships that they don't want to be in because they're scared that if they step outside of that, they're not going to be able to function. They're not going to be able to live properly. So they stay in these miserable situations because money ties them back. They're like, if I won the lottery, I'd leave. Well, this is your lottery ticket, basically. Yes, you've got to roll your sleeves up. Yes, you've got to work, but it means that you've got that money coming in and it gives you choices. And not only that, it gives you freedom as well, because a lot of jobs can pay really well. Like Arbonne pays well, other jobs pay well, but Arbonne's part-time. So it means you've got the flexibility. So for me, we've now gone on to have two more children. So we've got four children and we are so present in their lives. I'm here every morning when they go to school. I'm here every day when they get back from school. I'm here for every half term, every summer holiday, every assembly, every parents' day, everything they have mum and dad at. And that's because this business pays, but it gives you time as well. So if you're looking for ways to make time, this is it. It also gives you community and connection. So although you're your own boss, you're never by yourself. So there's always people around, either in person or online. There's all the free support available to you. And everyone's a cheerleader in this team. So everyone's just like, yeah, that's great. And here's some tips, here's some ideas. And it's just truly the biggest blessing that people can have in their lives. It really is absolutely extraordinary. So if you want to know a little bit more about in detail about the ingredients and about what products we've got, why they're a cut above everything else, if you want the details, because I've skimmed over, I've got another video that's going to go into much more detail.